Hey, it's MK, and I'm here with a video for Use the Stuff. I am still playing along with Series 12 for Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches. And this one here is by Brandy Robinson. I'm sorry about that. And I have a little indication over here that the right page is going to be 8.5 by 11. However, I end up flipping the entire sketch to where her left page is on my right and the right page is on the left. So technically, it's going to be the left page that's 8.5 by 11, but we'll make it work. So I have some really old, uber old stuff from close to my heart. This all came in a little boy kit. I don't really remember exactly what they're called, but they used to be called compliments. So you created a layout and you added compliments to it instead of embellishments, which I always thought was really cool, but I don't know why they got rid of that name. It was just so unique. I also have some puffy stickers, I think is what they're called, enamel stickers from Vicki Boutin. This is the sticker sheet. It's actually two different, I don't think these sticker sheets are the same as the boy one that I just showed you. So again, 3 packages. And then these cork pieces also came from a close to my heart, but this was just 2 years ago. So the Bumblebee one that just came out, I want to say 2 years ago, maybe even last year. So I have 2 different ones of those cork pieces. One came in the workshop and the other one just came as the scrapbooking. I have some rice paper that I picked up probably last year, because last year was when I was really introduced into rice paper, but it doesn't make an appearance on the layout. And then of course, Kaiser Craft. This is the Factory 42 sticker book that I'm still working through. I have this cardboard piece of paper. I absolutely love adding cardboard because it adds the dimension, but not a lot of bulk. I have several photos of my husband. This is the very first time that we ever gave making beef jerky a try, but it's not beef jerky. It's duck jerky, or goose jerky, I should say, from his goose hunt. Also from Factory 42, Kaiser Crafts collection, I have this awesome ledger paper, and then on the other side, it's a collage paper. And then another really old product from close to my heart. These are actually, they were called My Reflections. And then they had reflections 1, 2, and 3, depending on your stage of scrapbooking. So the very first stage included pre-printed stuff, and it basically told you exactly where to put your layouts and all your photos and all that good stuff. I have 2 sheets of this right here from Creative Memories. But the close to my heart reflections kits. Now this was a boy kit that I had. I just loved the edge of it and the paint splatters. So I couldn't purge this from my collection, or from my stash, because I really wanted to use this up, and it was perfect for this sketch because it already had a couple little embellishments over on the blank white spaces of Brandy's sketch. So I loved that. But again, I'm flipping the sketch. So her left page is now on my right. My right page is only going to be 8.5 by 11. I love doing this and mixing up my my layouts like this because of the fact that it gives me that variation in my album, but it also doesn't, I don't have to come up with a 12 by 12 piece of paper or a layout for just a little bit of photos, but I had too many photos for a 12 by 12 layout. So I just really like adding different size pages to my album. I love flipping through all the different pages that I find in my album. It's almost like an interactive little mini album, but it's not so mini. But I really love that part. So I'm covering up the wood grain and that mint color just because of the fact that I just really did not want to add any other colors, because in my photo I've got my brown cupboards. My husband always wears blue and white. I wish he'd change it up every now and then, but hey, it is what it is. And then of course the meat that we are seasoning. Now to be honest, the jerky turned out so well and we ate it so fast because there's 6 mouths, right? I didn't get a chance to take a picture of the actual finished product. So you get to see it in its rare form, and then my husband seasoned it, and then we dehydrated it, and then it was amazing. He did a great job, and he's been making jerky ever since. So I'm glad that he picked up this little hobby. And of course, I love my meat slicer. So Who can say that? I can. But yeah, I definitely wanted to do that. So I am adding a little bit of color here. It's not going to just be a whole black and white because I want to add that craft, all those little pieces that I picked up. Now, some of those pieces I picked up because of the fact that they had animals on them. One of them had, I think, a bear, and then I think one had a bird, and then I think a deer was on the other one. So I wanted to add the animal because we're not using a cow to make beef jerky. We are using the goose from my husband's goose hunt. For one, we didn't have a clue what to do with all that meat, but we've every single piece of that meat has been turned into jerky because we just love it so much. We love the way that it turns out, I should say, and it's not stiff jerky like beef jerky is. It is, oh my stars, amazing. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't share well, so. I can brag about it all day long, but sharing is not an option in my world, just to let you guys know that. That was not nice, but I know. So I wanted to get the process of, my husband and the little breasts on these little birds. And I'm sorry if this offends anybody. I really, really do. But this was monumentous in our lives because of the fact that we tried something new. We tried to make our own stuff, right? And so I wanted to document this. I wanted to remember when the first time we created jerky, because now that we do it so often, it's just one of those things that you look back and it's like, how long have we been doing this? Who knows? And we perfected along the way and all that stuff. So I wanted to document this, you guys. I'm not going to document it every time we make jerky. I wanted to just document the very first time that we actually gave it a try. We had no clue how long to set the dehydrator. We had no clue, what seasonings. So each little row got its own little seasoning. Which one did we like the best? Which one needed a little bit more of something else? I mean, it was total trial and error. And I wanted to document that because once, the second one wasn't as much of a trial and error. We knew what seasonings we liked. My husband knew how to slice up those teeny tiny little breasts off of the birds, all that stuff. I mean, he was so paranoid of chopping up all those little things. Are they thin enough? Are they, is it enough meat? How many breasts do you use? Just all this stuff. And I wanted to document that. So again, I apologize if this is not the type of subject for you all, but I wanted to share it because of the fact that for one, it would be super cool if somebody would come out with, experimentation type of ephemera or die cuts or anything like that. I mean, this was totally a huge experiment. I mean, is it like a really cool saying would be pass or fail? Was this a pass or was this a fail? That sort of thing, Pinterest inspired type of embellishments, things like that. What do you use when there's no product for you to use? There's no theme for making beef jerky. There's no theme for slicing your own meat. There's no theme for that. And so I wanted to share this with you guys because I don't have a theme at all. I just picked out the fact that my colors in my photo are pretty blah. Like I said, blue and white for my husband, brown cupboards because that's what my house, came with in the 1970s. And then, of course, the silver and black machine and our very pretty cutting board. That was my Christmas gift, by the way, you guys. Aw. Anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys. And because of the hexagons already printed in on the paper, I wanted to bring that forward. And I love the fact that the hexagons aren't theme specific. So there's not really, if you go through and look at every little hexagon, you're going to start seeing, oh, this was a travel page. Well, no, it wasn't. It was made for documenting the boys in your life. That's what it was. So they're all totally random. And of course, numbers are awesome for boys because and me having 4 boys in my house, they love the numbers. How long did this take? How many minutes was this? How many Cheetos did I shove in my mouth? Things like that. Numbers are huge to men, you guys. Super huge. So always keep that in mind if you're documenting a boy. Numbers are really good to keep on hand because that's huge to them. They want to know how long and how many and how much and all that stuff, It's a thing to them. I don't know why, but it is. So another thing too, like I was saying about the hexagons before I got distracted by the numbers, because I'm a numbers person too, I wanted to explain to you guys that I brought in more hexagons to help me embellish. So I just didn't want the hexagons to be limited to the outside of the pages, right? So I brought them in, and then that's where the craft came in. That's where my cardboard came in. That's where the brown comes in, is because of the fact that my cupboards are brown. So that's the extra color. And then the Kaiser craft paper had that variation of light and dark brown, even though I think it's kind of I think it's brown. And then, of course, you see the blacks and the blues in the background, but not a whole lot of the blues. But it's still all colors that match well with my photos, even though I thought I was going for a monochromatic layout, and it didn't end up being one because of that collage paper that I brought in, but you can barely see any of it. So I think it's okay. Another thing, too, I kept with the good stuff. Title was absolutely perfect. I forgot the word "the," but I think I just really like it saying good stuff. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then I brought in some gray because my background is gray. So again, the monochromatic, right? I think monochromatic is the same scale of colors. So I think that worked out really well. I wanted to use this Love This banner, but I don't like banners that don't define the lines. And you can't really tell that it's a folded back up upon itself banner. And so I took out my journaling pen and just outlined it. And of course I forgot the bottom. How did I do that? I was just in a hurry because it was so super exciting that this layout's coming together really nicely, right? So I brought that in because I love experimenting new things with my family. I really, really do. It makes me so happy to have, to experience this. And did we like it? Do we want to do it again? That sort of thing. And I go ahead and add a gray element on the other side as well. And then I love all these little arrows. Again, it's a direction, are we going to move forward with this? Is this something that we're going to do in the future? So arrows are really, really good to bring in too, for a generically themed scrapbook kit. So think about the arrows, think about the design that's already going on, stuff like that. It is super, super cool to have a non-themed, and I can't really say this is a kit because this is just stuff that I picked through and what matched. Yes, most of it is close to my heart, just to let you know, but it's several years differences between the products, several years. And that's what's really cool too, is that you can keep stuff for quite a while and it'll still go with stuff that you just got 2 or 3 years ago. So, or yesterday. It's just super cool. That just blows my mind at how you can hold on to something and then it's the perfect embellishment for something that you have, that you bought yesterday. I love that. So again, just super cool, super fun, a generically themed layout for a theme specific photo, but they don't have embellishments for this just yet. You guys, I wouldn't even know how you would document beef jerky, in all honesty. But anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Again, I apologize if this isn't your guys' cup of tea as far as the photos go. I do apologize. But again, I wanted to share, how do you document something that you don't have themed product for? How do you, what are you looking for when you're looking for a masculine? Because I get a lot of questions about that as well, for masculine photos, because there's not a whole lot of masculine out there. So yeah, I just wanted to help out with that a little bit. And then of course, document our very first time doing beef jerky. And like I said, this isn't something that I'm going to document about every single time. Brandy, thank you so much for such an amazing layout. This video will go up with the Series 12 Christy Beautiful Life playlist, which I'll have linked down below. And again, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it, and I'll check y'all later. Bye.